Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well, and let's hope we won't have any problems today with the streaming. It seems like everything will be smooth today. So we have another day on ES. I think it's the sixth or the seventh day in a row, bearish. Uh, and it seems like the bears are quite in control, but we get into that while we're doing our prep. Uh, so for now, okay, so I'm just sorting out something out here. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay, so as I said, the bears are in control. We are currently, if we see the high time frames, so we see we are currently the yearly. We just entered the previous year DVA here, which is something significant. We did it in the past, but we covered relatively fast. So we'll see how that goes. So we do have a prior low here to reach. So we may see a move, but we'll see later. Just going that way. Just a rejection, just failing until we hit that threshold. So we have that yearly. Then let's go on the quarterly. We haven't changed quarters, so we're just mostly interested on the previous DVA. So regarding the previous DVA, we just fell below yesterday. We tried to squeeze, but we failed. So we see the candle here. Again, like we saw on the yearly, we do have a bounce up on what it seems to be the 2 quarters below the DVA high. So we see here, and that one held quite nicely several times in the previous quarter. It held actually multiple times. So I think the target, the market wants to test that again. So it's quite possible to see that move, like I told you before. That's quite a light move. But it could have several forms, like rejecting the DVA, again dropping. It depends how much the buyers they want to squeeze up, which I don't see is going to happen too much, to be honest. So we're currently here, then we see the monthly. So we just crossed the previous DVA and we feel we are at the lower extremes now. Last night we tested the -2 USD and it does some relief bouncing, probably to continue lower again. If it may also test the monthly 1.5 and go from there. And then we have the weekly, which is, let's open it out a little bit. So we basically, it's moving way down at the previous DVA. And yet again, we see it hold a little bit within the DVA, which that was kind of like of a self here. So sorry. So we see here, and that failed yesterday. So what we're expecting to see, you see like it did that squeeze again, attempted to do it again, but it failed. So that everything depends on the bulls how much they want to squeeze up. Personally, I think it's just gonna do. I think it's just gonna do this. Let's head down to the previous lows and test them, and then we'll see how it's gonna go from there. So that's related to the high time frame context, which if we put it into lines, this is transformed as this. So we see yesterday there were several gaps in the high time frames. Today it seems we have not so many gaps, but seems to have some ranges to play with. So we see in the past there was this range. Keep respected, somehow. But remember, the market is not perfect, so we have this range, and that range yesterday broke below, and then again now we're just starting to build another structure, basically. Or maybe I'll put it better. Hold on. And basically, we have this structure. You can see here, kinda. And now we'll start building another structure. Yeah. So during the pre-market, we did that squeeze to the upper structure. We've tested again during the news, and now it seems to be failing. Yes, one could try and trade that breakouts to the lowest, but because there are several layers, there's overnight low highs we'll see later. It's kind of risky. Personally, I'd be very favored just to trade the breakout lower of the structure. As we see here, and as we saw before, we have the quite lower. We have the quarterly previous DV high for 2 quarters before, which have been tested and held quite nicely very many times. So I'll be mostly like interested, as we said, if we break this level, just to trade from 58.60 down to 58, kind of 20s, let's say. It's around that 40 points range. That's the general context. That's in the bear case. We have like a bull case. I would like to see some recovery within the structure, especially, so this, keep in mind, these are all lows, DVA, weekly, yearly, monthly lows. So this gonna be bearish. But if we manage to get accepted within the range, especially within all the lows and the DVAs, then yeah, I might consider like some longs, maybe up to this area, like within this area basically. But there are so many levels to be with, so we need to take it level to level because it's quite dangerous to play with, especially in the bearish market. But that's my second scenario. My most scenario is just to break down and just take it from there, level to level. So now going to the intraday chart. So as we see, I just have some notes here, and I say to short 58.65, this level, but especially, not directly, but especially if it just tested, bouncing up here, rejecting, and then just trending the breakdown, sorry. From there, I have a note that after the 58.65 break, and especially after the 58.50, this one. So if we break this one, there is nothing really strong support. There comes some kind of levels, technical levels, but nothing really strong to hold on until the 57.94. It's quite below. 57.94 is around here. 57.94 is around here. But be aware that around here, around this level, is the quarterly previous DVA high that has held. And I could actually put a note just in case. Yeah, just in case I forget. So basically, that would be a good point. If we fail here and take it from here all the way down, and then we'll see how this level is going to react. In the bull scenario again, this from technical perspective, we need to see. I won't put any long, to be honest, in this area. So basically, so the low regarding the high time frames, we saw there was a bearish zone on the DVA lows, the high lows. So basically, it was from here until here. So basically, in this area from here until here, I wouldn't take any trade. Personally, it's not an advice, of course, because it's going to be very bearish. If we manage to recover above that level, that's 59.50s, then we could possibly trade level to level in these areas. But I think that's way far-fetched. We built like a squeeze, but we haven't really built a base. We failed overnight to even test this major level. And we failed basically here. So what I expect to see, it's just like a breakdown, which is like my favorites. We'll see how it goes. If for some reason, again, we see the could goes for the case where we see just the price really like not going up or down, just bouncing within the range. If we see that, then I'll try to fade the extremes, especially from up here, from the extremes of the VWAP towards down, and then scale out on the DVAs. That's my thinking, and that's the all possible scenarios we expect to see. By the way, sorry, I just realized I forgot to change the title. So the title on the streaming, it says test streaming, while it's actually like yes trading for today. So I think I have to update it, but I'm not sure if that actually shows. Okay, so I think I've decided because it shows as a testing screen, and many of the viewers may see it as a testing screen and not join our session. And I decided to just cut the stream, have a small break before the opening, and open like a proper stream with a proper title in like 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes with the opening. And I think that would be only fair for everyone. So I'll see you in around 8 to 10 minutes.